Welcome everybody to the campus of Humber College in Toronto, Ontario, Colonel Samuel Smith Park, where it's time for the Parallel Cup between the Canada Northwind and the USA Revolution. 11th time that this game has been contested today. It is in beautiful Etobicoke, just outside Toronto, Ontario. I'm Patrick McNeil, joined by David Smith with the call of this game. David.
What a beautiful day here for this match. As you said, the 11th time this Parallel Cup game has been played. Americans in the past certainly dominating the trophy, with 9 of those 10 having been won by the Americans. Canadians trying to change that history today. They did win the toss, done by with a 1944 Australian penny by Brian Duncan, who will be installed in the AFL Ontario Hall of Fame next week, August 20th. So here we're about ready to go here and start this Parallel Cup match between the Canada Northwind and the USA Revolution.
Yeah, David, as you said, these two teams have been waiting a long time to butt heads. It's been 5 years since they last played. That was in the International Cup back in 2017 in Australia. As we can see the roster here for Team USA. Again, they have won 9 of the 10 prior Parallel Cups. And some of these guys had the opportunity to play in the game that we saw earlier. And now we got to look at Team Canada's lineup heading into this big contest today.
And we're just about ready for the ball up, the initial ball up here in this 49th Parallel Cup here at Humber College. Here we go.
Very excited for this game. Run up at the ruck at center, and it didn't take long. We already have our first whistle of the contest. Ball is going to go the way of the Americans. Team USA is in white. Team Canada is in black. Nice sharp color contrast here in this contest for sure. No problem knowing who is who, as we have another ball comes to Team Canada. That was Jordan Harcombe kicking it along the right boundary. Team Canada in possession. Again, the Canadians in black. Kick along the right boundary. Not an intercept mark, but the Americans happy to take possession. Play along the wing. Team USA with it. Ball's going to come back slightly towards the Canadian forward 50, but Team USA still in control along the wing. We're just getting going here. As the Americans won the developmental game earlier today, Canada trying to win the battle between the Northwind and the Revolution.
As expected, lots of pressure, lots of contested ball. That's what we expected going into this game. It's not going to be any easy possessions, not many anyway. A ball up here at midfield.
Team Canada will win the initial tap, but the Americans take possession. Kick out towards the quarter, ball bouncing around there in midfield. Battle for the ball. As Team Canada takes possessions, that's Greg Bridges of the Ottawa Swans. His handball intercepted by Mark McClure, plays for the Columbus Cats. Former Boston Red Sox draft pick is Mark McClure. Obviously a great athletic background. Free kick comes to Canada.
Holding the ball call there. Canada with that kick goes a little bit awry, but might get the bounce. No, the Americans, friendly bounce. Kick towards their forward 50, and that'll be a tackle immediately, so that'll be to the umpire, and a ball up in the forward 50 for the Americans. Good start for the Americans. No score early in this game, just a minute and a half into this Parallel Cup match. And a free kick for USA in their forward 50. See if this is a kick at goal. Clyde Simpson of the Columbus Cats, veteran of International Cup 17. See if he'll kick for goal. No, he'll try to pass it off. And there's a mark. Nice mark there by number 20, Zach McKinney of the Seattle Grizzlies.
Yeah, nice mark indeed by Zach McKinney. And Clyde Simpson setting that. Clyde Simpson was actually best on ground at a championship final in 2018 in Australia, so he is a very experienced player. Zach McKinney, former rugby player at Texas Tech, as he goes for this free kick. And that looks like it's going to go right through.
And yeah, that will be a goal for the Americans. So a great start for the USA as they go in the lead, 6-0.
Zach McKinney out of the Seattle Grizzlies, as David mentioned, the first goal kick, used to play with the Dallas Dingoes, a rugby convert. You see that story every so often, and that was how he got his start. And one of his teammates at Texas Tech actually introduced him to Australian football. And right now, if you're a USA Revolution fan watching this game, you're very happy because he has the first kick of goal in this contest. USA up 1-0, 1 goal, no behinds, no score for Canada as we get the center clearance. Following that opening kick, and it is going to be won by Canada.
There's a ball up. Lots of players around the ball. And it looks like that's a free kick to Canada. See if they can get some flow going. Sure, a lot of nerves here at this Parallel Cup game. Hasn't been a Parallel Cup since 2015. Americans get the ball. And high contact. United States plays on. Kicks towards their forward 50. Unfriendly bounce, though. Canadians come up with the ball. Discussion a bit handballs. Kick wide. Can't mark it. Immediate tackle as the American picks it up.
Going to get a ball up here just outside the forward 50 for Team USA. Looks like that'll be contested towards us, the boundary line right in front of us, I guess we can say. Ball thrown up. It'll be tapped forward by Team USA. Not a clean contest there as CJ Adams, the youngster out of the Minnesota Freeze, will kick it across the field. Team Canada takes possession. Ball will come in. That is going to be marked by Team Canada. Playing on was Eric Klein of the Hamilton Wildcats. He'll kick it along the left boundary. Ball will bounce out of play.
This will be a boundary throw-in, but they do get some meterage, as they say, not too far outside their 50-meter line. So Canadians looking to see if they can get an entry into their forward 50 here. Boundary throw-in. Some big rucks there. Bounces on the ground. And high contact. Free kick to Canada, number 28, Justin Settle. He kicks it towards the boundary. Doesn't go out, picked up by the Americans. Nice handball there. That's kicked, and that's out on the full. Free kick to Canada.
Great pressure by Team Canada, and now they have an opportunity to try to crack the forward 50. Again, Team USA leading this one early on as number 28, Justin Settle, out of the Hamilton Wildcats. First represented Team Canada in 2011 as he'll kick it forward into the forward 50. Contest is going to be eventually won by Team USA. Not clean, though, so no free paid. Good smother there by Team Canada, trying to see the player.
Great smother there, and that what wins you games for sure.
That was Eric Klein of the Hamilton Wildcats. He wanted me to shout out his mentor, Adam Kelly, and acknowledge everything he's done for footy in Canada. Boundary throw-in won by Team Canada, but the United States will take the ball. USA leading 6-0. Handball right to left. Americans moving the ball by hand here as it's continually moved by hand and a kick out, but play blown by the umpire.
That was deemed incorrect disposal on a free kick to Canada. So they're just outside their forward 50 here, so certainly good opportunity for number 1.
Riley Turpin.
Kicks to the pocket and a mark.
It's Eric Klein from the Hamilton Wildcats.
You would think this would be possibly in his range. Certainly players doing some leads to see. Looks like he's kicking to goal. The run up. Big kick. Looks to be right. And that's a mark. So Canada, not far from goal, going to have a kick to see if they can tie the score.
And that, I believe, is Aaron Falcioni, the leading goal kicker in AFL Ontario, and he's led the league in goals twice heading into this season. So if there's anybody you want with the ball, it's him. Plays for the Toronto Eagles. Let's see what he can do if he can make hay on this kick.
And that's a 25-meter penalty, so he's going to get a kick at goal right in front, right in the goal square. So this should be a goal for Canada, and it is. The Canadians tie the score. Almost 7 minutes here into the first quarter.
Yeah, great response from Team Canada. And again, I mentioned there, Aaron Falcioni is, you saw the videos of him earlier. He has quite the pedigree of a goal kicker, not a guy you want to give an opportunity to kick the goal, but he does just that. And we are tied straight scores here. 1 goal apiece early going. Good start to this Parallel Cup. We mentioned before, history not on the side of Team Canada, but that's all in the past. Canada looking to reverse the script here. Again, Canada in black, USA in white. We are tied at 6. Center bounce won by Team Canada. The kick for by Nick Liang of the Hamilton Wildcats. Ball goes into the Canadian forward 50. Handball, that's Falcioni again, looking for that magic boot, and he's going to hit the behind post, David.
Not the score you want, but it does put Canada in the lead 7-6 here in the first quarter. That's a high kick. In dispute. USA free kick on a tackle without the ball. So looks like there was an argument there and a 25-meter penalty. So the Americans will get the ball towards midfield. Kick. Batted away by Canada towards midfield. Bouncing ball. Lots of players around the ball. Canadians come up with the kick, but there's an intercept mark by the Americans.
Americans take possession. Free kick. Mark converted by Team USA. Nice smother, though, by the Canadians. Ball along the boundary. That's McKinney, who had the opening goal for Team USA. Great pressure by Greg Bridges. And Greg Bridges gives the little shove there to Steve Fouchant. And we're going to see a boundary throw in right in front of us. Congratulations to Steve. Steve Fouchant of the Minnesota Free was recently married, so congrats to Steve. Ball up, tapped by Canada off the boundary throw in. And
there's a hold and a free kick to Canada. So a lot of free kicks here early in this game. Perhaps just a lot of nerves and players doing a little bit too much. There's a mark. Nice mark by Daniel Garcia of the... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong team. Rob Trezeguet. Kick into forward 50. Batted away. Ball on the ground. Towards goal. U.S. with possession. And it's kick through. And I'm not sure what the call is here.
Both teams kind of campaigning for the result that they prefer here.
Umpire. And it's a goal to Canada. Or is it? No, sorry, it's 1 point.
You're waiting for them to put the point up. And a correction earlier, we thought Canada had taken the lead. That is not the case based on the scoreboard, but Canada has taken the lead now. It is a 7-6 score for Team Canada as play comes back towards the midfield. Ball bouncing around there. Canadians in possession as Greg Bridges looks to go to ground to pick it up. As Canada moving back towards the American forward 50. I believe that's Clyde Simpson who had the ball there from the Columbus Cats for Team USA.
There'll be a free kick to the U.S. So they'll kick towards the middle. That's Steve Fouchant. Long kick in the forward 50. There's a pack. No one's able to mark. Canadians come up with the ball. Ball in dispute. There's another whistle. Lots of whistles here in this first quarter. That'll be a free kick to Canada. So a bit of choppy play here in the first quarter, but not unexpected when you think how much pressure there's going to be and a few nerves, I'm sure, as they've been waiting for this sort of international play for a long time. Long kick, off hands, kick towards the American goal, but it goes over the line, and that'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, play on the far side from us. Again, Canada leading 7-6 here. One behind to 1 goal for Team USA. Good start to this game. Pretty evenly played as we're going to get ball thrown up. As the
boundary throw in. Off hands. Swarm of players around the ball. Kicked towards the middle. Americans trying to get it farther towards goal, but cleaned up by the Canadians, and they get possession. Nice tackle there at midfield. No prior opportunity. Free kick given to the Americans. So this is probably going to come into their forward 50. Long kick. Nice mark there. And that'll save the day for Canada as it will. And a 25-meter penalty, so they'll have possession at midfield and a free kick.
Great intercept mark there by Greg Bridges of the Ottawa Swans. His unique background was a curling champion back in his university days and now is a footy star and also coaches the Swans in Ottawa. Americans take possession back, though. Great pressure by Canada as the American player at the ball, Brian Powers of the DC Eagles, was being swarmed, but looks like he's going to get a free kick out of this again.
Say that was high contact, so the free kick to the U.S. Kick to a pack of players, off hands. Ball in dispute. Far side of the field. And that ball's not moving. And that's a free kick to Canada. As the U.S. player did not move the ball, so they get the free kick and see if they can get them full here. There really hasn't been much here in this first quarter. There's another whistle. Another 25-meter penalty. Boy, there's been a few of these in this first quarter. We're almost 13 minutes into this first quarter. 7-6 lead for Canada. Mark in midfield. Canada kicks wider. No mark. Ball on the ground. Picked up. Kicked. But an intercept mark by the Americans.
Yeah, Team USA with good defensive presence there. Kick towards the boundary. Again, the Canadians lead 7-6 here in the Parallel Cup. Americans with the ball. Handballed across. Team USA try to move it up the field, up the left boundary. And contest with hands. Ball will come back to Team USA. Here's an opportunity. Handball across to Nolan Cox. He'll kick it towards the goal. Not marked, though. Team Canada will take possession. Nolan Cox, yes, indeed, is the brother of Mason Cox of the Collingwood Magpies. Nolan Cox plays for the powerful Austin Crows, a powerhouse in the USAFL, have won a number of national championships. As Team USA moving it forward in the forward 50. Canada takes possession again, though. Kick out, as that was Jason Nystuen of the Calgary Kangaroos kicking it along the right boundary. Americans will take possession. A lot of contest along the grounds as we hear the whistle go.
Another free kick to Canada. A lot of free kicks, a lot of 25-meter penalties so far in this first quarter. Not a lot of scoring, though. And he has a bit of room. Has to pass it off. Punched forward. Handball. And he's gang tackled and holding the ball. That'll be a free kick to the Americans. Great defense there, as there's not a lot of room out there right now for either team.
Yeah, Brian Powers, a late addition to the Revolution, and he's making an impact there as he was able to bring down O'Day Capella. And now the United States moving the ball along the left wing, so to speak. Use a hockey terminology, I guess we can say. Ball kicked more towards the quarter, just outside the forward 50. And we hear the whistle go again. It's 7-6 for Team
He plays on, kicks towards goal. Not where he'd like to put it, though, and that'll be a behind, and that'll tie the score.
Yeah, indeed. The flag is being waved for 1 point as a key point for the Americans to tie this game. So 1-1-1-1. Both teams with 7 points on the board. Kick out for Team Canada along the right boundary. And no free kick there. Is a nice battle between the two nations there for that ball. And the contest, a lot of the balls being contested here. Both teams are making it difficult with pressure, as David predicted was going to happen. I don't think that's any surprise in this contest.
Another free kick to Canada. Long kick along the line. Off American hands. Canada gets possession. Gets more meterage, but it's not that wasn't a mark. So that ball's held. And that'll be a ball up. Going towards forward 50 of the Canadians.
You can see the Canadian players there were applauding on the sidelines, applauding the pressure that their team was putting on here. Again, 7-7 as we're approaching the end of the first quarter. And it looks like we have another ball up.
16 minutes played here in the first quarter. Not a lot of easy play. 7-7 the score. Americans come up with the ball. Along the line, long kick towards their forward 50. Picked up by Canada. Dropped. Ball in dispute. Americans pick up the ball. Batted forward by the Canadians. Americans come forward with it. Zach McKinney kicks it deep. Intercepted mark, and that should relieve the pressure for the Canadians.
Zach McKinney of Seattle doing a good job moving the ball forward, but that time it was intercepted by Team Canada. I believe that's Eric Klein kicking out here from the Hamilton Wildcats. He'll kick it along the right boundary. And we do have a Canadian mark, but it's at the horn. And suffice to say, he's a little bit too far away to kick the goal square. So we see the quarter come to an end. Straight scores, or even scores, I should say. 1 goal, 1 behind for each team. 7-7 here at the campus of Humber College in Toronto.
Yeah, very tight first quarter for both teams. Not a lot of uncontested possessions. Not a lot of points scored. So it's certainly tough. It's an arm wrestle for both these teams right now.
Yeah, that is a good way of describing it. Again, I said 1 goal, 1 behind for each side. We thought going into this game that there was going to be a lot of pressure, and that's what we've seen, and not a lot of time and space for either team to make decisions.
Absolutely. and we'll see who can come through in the second quarter. I think this is going to be an important quarter in this game. So AFL Canada brought to you by True Blue Swim School, helping children as young as 8 months become strong swimmers. Long history of partnership with Team Canada, sponsoring both teams, men and women, at International Cup 17. It is located in Edmonton, Alberta. True Blue Swim School, love the water for life. Website trueblueswim.ca. Now time for the first quarter recap, brought to you by Tribal Sport, the official apparel company of AFL Canada. Visit their website at www.tribalsport.com.au.
Yes, we thank you for joining us on all CBC platforms. It is the Parallel Cup between Team Canada and the United States. The Northwind and the Revolution all knotted up at 7, 1 goal behind for each side following the opening quarter. David, that tight quarter, I said not a lot of availability for offensive options, perhaps. Good rivalry game thus far, so to speak.
Absolutely. This has been an arm wrestle here in the first quarter. USA opened the game with a goal, but Canada responded, and then they each scored a behind to finish out the quarter. But it's a tight game, lots of pressure, lots of contested ball, which is what we expected. And it's going to be an important second quarter as to see who wins this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just saw the coaches relaying instructions to their teams. I would say both coaches are probably pretty happy with what they saw in the first quarter. Obviously, there's room for improvement if you're not winning the game.
Well, I mean, certainly both teams would want the lead right now, but the game's in dispute. There's no doubt about that. This is a competitive matchup, as we expected. So we'll see where we go in the second quarter. This has been the first quarter recap, brought to you by Tribal Sport. Again, their website, www.tribalsport.com.au.
Welcome back to the campus of Humber College in the Greater Toronto Area here as we're at the Parallel Cup between Team Canada, the Northwind in black, and Team Revolution, Team USA in white. All even after the opening quarter of play. 1 goal, 1 behind to each side. Good opening quarter of footy. Patrick O'Neill joined here by David Smith.
Absolutely. There's a lot of contested ball as we approach the second quarter. We'll see if that trend continues. Not much to tell between these two teams right now, as it's been a definite arm wrestle. Both ready to have the ball up to start this second quarter. Ball being shown, and there's the ball up.
Yeah, again, Team Canada in black, Team USA in white. Here's Zach McKinney of the Seattle Grizzlies. He kicked the game's first goal. Handballs it off the right side of the field. There's the ball bouncing around here. Who's going to win it? It'll be kicked towards midfield here as, of course, teams at switching ends in the second quarter. Nice spoil there by Team USA. Battle along the deck for the ball, and that will cause a halt in play.
Free kick to Canada, so this will give them an opportunity to get some flow. Kick from midfield. Long kick towards their forward 50. Off hands. Canada with the ball, but given up to the Americans. Kicks to space. Americans have a body there. There's a bump. Oh, it looks like that'll be high tackle, and that'll be free kick to Canada.
Yeah, hopefully there wasn't that was a head collision, and there's blood on one of the players for Team USA. And I wonder about concussion protocols, as that looked like it was a head-on-head collision, as it was Dan Livy, the vice captain of the Team USA, the Golden Gate Roos, number 8. And I'm not sure the player he collided with, David, but this is not what we want to see.
Certainly not. You don't want to see any sort of injuries in these games. It's obviously a physical sport, and it can happen. We have a bit of a delay here as the players are checked on.
And that was Sam Gigliotti of the Austin Crows. And it's crazy to see Australian football, obviously a contact sport, a physical sport, but you have a situation there where two teammates are just trying to make an impact, and they end up butting heads, not figuratively, but literally. And they said Sam Gigliotti of the Austin Crows, unfortunately, taking that one on the head. Sam was introduced to the game, interestingly enough, by his high school friend, that being Michael Linnean, who's also playing for Team USA in this game. And again, both of these players being attended to.
As we have a bit of a delay here, it should be noted that Humber College here was where the movie Police Academy was filmed. I know the head coach of the USA Revolution was a big fan, and I think there'll be some selfies by him here at the college. So there's a bit of a trivia note here for you at Humber College. Also, for those who may not know, the 49th Parallel Cup is named after the dividing line of, I believe, latitude between Canada and the USA. So we have sport and we have a geography lesson here at Humber College.
Yeah, lots going on, and I guess having footy here is not the first time history is being made. It is a dedicated footy oval here. In fact, the day actually started with an AFL Ontario women's game, and both Dan Livy and Sam Gigliotti going off. Dan Livy, vice captain of Team USA, actually won a national championship in the U.S. in 2017. He was a scratch golfer, so he had a university scholarship, and unfortunately both he and his teammate Gigliotti are going to go off the field. So both teams with 6 substitutions on the bench, so obviously Team USA is at depth being tested here as we get ready to get back underway with a free kick for Jeff Coventry of the Ottawa Swans.
Former CFL player, Montreal Alouette, Jeff Coventry with the free kick here. Would say likely out of his range, so he'll be looking to pass the ball as we get restarted here at the 49th Parallel Cups. He, with the fake, that kick right to the American, number 15, Derek Shotwell, who played soccer with the Cincinnati Christian University. Ball being bat along the far wing. Tackle there by Canada. Kick off the ground. And there's a mark. There again by Coventry.
Yeah, those wide receiver hands from his Alouettes days coming in handy there, David.
Certainly there's a lot of sports whose skills can translate to Australian rules football. Long kick. Looks pretty good. Won't make it, though. And that's a defensive intercept mark by the U.S. Mark on the wing by Steve Fauchant. Americans trying to clear. They get it to midfield. And another mark. Nice mark there by number 11, Peter Bailey. Grew up swimming. So certainly quite a different sport to come to Australian rules. Canada with possession. Kicks it into the forward 50. Offhands. Almost got the second chance mark there. Ball going towards the line. And it'll find the line. And that'll be a boundary throw in, I believe. I think the American feels he should have a free kick here, but I think it's going to be a boundary throw in, and it will be in the Canadian forward pocket.
Yeah, it was just going off the hands of Riley Turpin, wearing number 1 for Canada, was the Ottawa Swans Rookie of the Year back in 2018. He's also played soccer and basketball in his sports playing days, which he's in the peak of now. Americans back in possession. Ball on the ground here. Both teams hitting the deck. Good contest there. A lot of physicality. Here's Clyde Simpson of the Columbus Cats kicking it to the middle of the field. And that'll be Nolan Cox. Plays for the Austin Crows. He was voted best and fairest at U.S. Nationals last year. As a play whistled down. Score 7-7. 3:19 played in this
Actually,
second
the older brother of Mason Cox, and there's another brother that also plays Australian rules that isn't in this game, but lots of Australian rules in the Cox family. Kick into forward 50 for the Americans. And a nice defensive mark. Canadians will try to relieve the pressure. Kick wide. Off the American hands. Canada. Long kick in the midfield, but marked by the Americans.
Yeah, nice intercept mark there by Team USA. That was Kendall Hutchings of the Sacramento Suns marking that ball. And now it's going to come to Team USA's Michael Lanahan of the Austin Crows. I mentioned before, the Crows, a powerhouse, well represented on this team. They've won a number of national championships in the United States. As the ball on the ground, Team USA looking to break this tie. We're tied at 7. We haven't seen any scoring yet in this second quarter. Both teams 1 goal, 1 behind.
And a free kick to the USA Revolution. So this will certainly give them a chance to score for the first time in this second quarter. Probably about 40 meters from goal. Probably more like 35 meters from goal. Likely within his range. He kicks it. Looks pretty good off the boot, but it's certainly right. And that's out on the full, actually. So no score. Still no score here in the second quarter. Canada with the free kick. In their defensive 50. Long kick up the wing. Unable to be marked. U.S. pick up the ball. Swarm of players. Pack of players around the ball. And it's like that'll be a ball up.
Still looking for our first points here of this second quarter. And we talked about pressure and tight contests. Seeing a lot of that. It's been a very good game of footy. Just a low-scoring one thus far.
Oh, not much room out there. 5.5 minutes into the second quarter. And free kick given to the United States on holding the ball call, I believe. So here's an opportunity for the Americans to kick towards their forward 50. And there's a mark by Steve Fauchant, former hockey player from Minnesota, so I guess it's not that surprising that he would have played hockey.
Also was named to the All-World team at the International Cup in 2011.
There's a kick. Looks to be right, and it is. There's a behind, but that is the first score of this second quarter. And the U.S. will go into the lead by 1.
Yeah, Steve Fauchant, one of the players, has been very involved in the offense for Team USA, and obviously not the desired result on that kick, but the way this game is going, those behinds could prove to be critical later on. Canada kicks out from their defensive end of the field, and a great mark there by Team USA's Kendall Hutchings of the Sacramento Suns.
Great contested mark there for sure. He kicks it. Pretty good kick, a little bit light, and the American can't mark it. Canada picks up the ball at the wing, kicks it down, Can't mark that. Pressure. He handballs. Nice handball. Right in front of us here. Long kick towards forward 50. Off hands. He can't mark it. Ball going towards the boundary. It stays in, though. Kept alive. Americans have the ball. Number 22, Sam Murphy, the ruck. That handball goes awry and picked up by Canada. Not for long. Americans have the ball. Again, lots of pressure, and it's just bouncing towards teams here just because of how intense the pressure is. Canada, though, has the ball. High kick towards goal, offhand. Can the Canadian pick it up? He doesn't. The American picks it up.
That was Gabe Martin Del Campo handballing it off, but Americans unable to keep possession. And I believe that's going to be a tackle without the ball. That should be a free kick for Steve Fouchon, as I mentioned.
No, it's holding the ball, so that'll be a free kick to the Americans. Kick up the line. There's a mark. That's Cox. He kicks it towards the forward 50. Long kick. Americans with some players down there, but Canadians defending well. Good handball. And that'll be out on the full and a free kick to the United States.
Yeah, with some great pressure there by number 19, Brian Powers of the DC Eagles to generate that free kick for the Americans. And the kick comes in.
Free player, and that'll be a mark in the pocket. This will be a very kickable ball for
Mark McClure.
Difficult angle, but certainly only probably about 20 meters from goal. So let's see what he can do here. Important kick in the context of this game, Patrick.
No doubt about that. And that is going to sail through for 6. And Mark McClure, a guy who's had a little bit of hard luck with injury in his time. He was a star baseball player, drafted by the Boston Red Sox, played baseball at the University of Florida. His career ended due to injury, and he also had to miss IC 2017 due to injury, but he is here at this game with a key goal to expand the USA lead, as the U.S. now 2 goals, 2 behinds at Team Canada, 1 goal, 1 behind.
So all the scoring so far in this quarter by the Americans, 1 goal, 1 behind, and they lead by that amount, 7 points. See if Canada can change the momentum a little bit here.
Ball up, center clearance following the Team USA goal. As Martin Del Campo went for it for Team USA, and whistle blown not long after the center clearance. Pardon me, that was Sam Murphy, number 22 for the Americans.
Free kick for the United States. Revolution. Not the greatest kick, but they keep possession. Nice tackle, though. That pressure changes possession. Can't really get full hands in the ball. United States still going forward, and that's a mark to Brian Powers. Kick into forward 50. No mark, and that goes over the 2 players. Canada tries to clean it up. Picked up on the wing. Chaos ball down the wing. Picked up by Canada. Jeff Coventry kicks it. Nice mark there by Jim Ortel. Goes a bit awry. Americans pick it up. This is a kick to the wing. Kind of scrambly play right now, but Canada picks it up with a little bit of space here. Kicks it into the forward 50 through hands. Americans defend well.
Indeed, and kicked out along the right boundary. Team USA holding that 14-17 lead. Canada trying to break through the forward 50 here. And that's almost an intercept mark. On the ball was McKinney, who's made a difference on both ends for Team USA thus far. Handballs, Americans moving it up towards midfield. Ball marked there by number 19, Brian Powers of the DC Eagles, who's had a very good game today. He'll kick it into the left pocket. Ball bouncing around as Cox goes chasing after it. And spin kick there by Nolan Cox. He'll kick to the goal square. Ball punched away as battle along the ground for it, as Canadians try to dispose of it. This ball will bounce back out towards the boundary. Team USA in possession now. Good pressure there by Canada, but the Americans keep it moving forward. Here's Fouchant again with the ball. He'll switch to the opposite side of the field, and Mark just outside the 50-meter line for Team USA.
Brent Mergen. Ball on the ground in dispute. Pack of players around, and that'll be a ball up. Americans, though, certainly have had the more of the play here in the second quarter. Only up to a 7-point lead, though, so lots of time left for Canada to change that momentum as we're 12 and a half minutes here into this second quarter.
Yeah, and all the scoring has been done by Team USA here. It was 7-7 at the break, and now it is 14-7 for Team USA as Canadians try to move the ball forward. Rob Tersini will kick it ahead, and chasing after it are the Canadians, but the Americans putting some back pressure there as well. As that was Daniel Garcia, the Houston Lone Stars, trying to punch the ball away. Ball comes back, and that'll be Falcione, I believe, with it for Canada. And he's being wrapped up, and as we said, not a lot of time and space. The guy gets the ball, and there's somebody right on top of him.
Tackle in the back, and it'll be a free kick. So you would think this would be in his range.
Kicked the first Canadian goal, Dave. He's looking for a second here.
Important kick here in this second quarter. Funny to say that's an important kick, but points are not easy to come by in this game. So anytime that you have a chance at goal, it's going to be important in this contest. With this run up, bit of a stutter step, kicks, looks to be a little, doesn't make it, batted away by the Americans. Lots of physical play right in front of goal, picked up by the Canadians. Still, whole great pack of players. I don't believe that's high contact, so Canada will be getting a free kick here. So,
I believe that's Steve Setka for the Winnipeg Bears with this free kick. Setka actually was in the development game as well. He's the president of AFL Manitoba. That's the run-up.
Kick looks to be a bit left.
That will
be a behind. That'll be minor score. So Canada's first point here in the second quarter, but not the amount they wanted.
Yeah, 14-8 in favor of Team USA. As the ball will come back out in front of the goal square. Aaron Falcione, you mentioned the stutter step, maybe a tribute to Josh Kennedy in his final weekend of AFL action. A sad day for West Coast Eagles fans like myself. Americans with possession. Ball kicked out of the goal square along the right boundary. Kick to the contest. Nice
contested mark there.
That's Brent Mergen. He's been a factor in this game. Plays for the Minnesota Freeze. Again, he is a veteran of international competition, has played in Australia as well on the western side of the continent down there. As ball contested and play blown down as we've played 15-20.
Free kick to the United States. He played on, but that'll have to come back. So the Americans, certainly the Canadians have had some entries into Ford 50, but the Americans' defense, the Revolution defense has held. Definite arm wrestle here at 49th Parallel Cup 2022 here at Humber College, Toronto, Ontario. Kick towards the wing. Off hands. Another call.
I think Riley Turpin was making sure that there wasn't a mark paid because he got his hand on that young number one out of the Ottawa Swans for Team Canada.
Free kick and a 25-meter penalty, I believe. No, just a free kick. So this will be a chance for another 4-50 entry by Canada. High, long kick. Pack of players. Bounce. Here's the Canadian with some space. Kicks it. Goal! Nice goal by Canada. And that's what they wanted. A goal for Canada here in the second quarter. And that ties the score.
Yeah, and Team Canada's number 22, James Clock, is going to pull the lucky gummy worm out of his sock after he kicked that goal to even the score. I have been told he plays with a gummy worm in his sock. Not sure the origin of that story, but Team Canada happy that Clock has tied this game. He was all kinds of fired up. Actually spent a year working with Greater Western City in the athletic performance department. He's played some footy down in Australia as well, and that experience comes in handy there tying this game.
Gummy worm might make the boot a little sticky, but there's nothing wrong with the boot there as he kicks the very important goal for the Canada Northwind. So it's all tied up in this fantastic game of Australian rules football at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario.
Definitely been a good one. Zach McKinney handballs it forward as Team USA on the attack here. Ball just outside the forward 50 for the Americans. Great pressure again. No prior in play, just goes on as Team Canada takes possession. But that is going to be the end of a very well-contested first half. We are even after the first quarter. We're even at the end of the first half.
You can't get any more even than that. And what a game of Australian rules football. There is not much room out there. It's an arm wrestle. But what a fantastic performance by both these teams in the first half of this game. It's all tied up. It's the U.S. Revolution, 14. It's the Canada Northwind, 14. Well, we're going to go to a break right now. We'll be back with more here at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the 2022 Parallel Cup. AFL Canada brought to you by True Blue Swim School, helping children as young as 8 months become strong swimmers. Long history of partnership with Team Canada, sponsoring both the men and women's team at International Cup 17, located in Edmonton, Alberta. True Blue Swim School, love the water for life. Visit their website at trueblueswim.ca.
The best advice I can give to somebody who wants to play footy and represent their country at the highest level is really just to go for it and to get involved.
Get involved.
Find your local club, get down, try out the game, learn the skills. Just give a big effort, get around everybody. Like, you never know. You could have the opportunity that all of us have at any time.
To reach out to some of the people involved in the program, to reach out to the coaches, put your name forward. And regardless of what happens after that, you will absolutely benefit from the development opportunities that are there and from the opportunities to learn and to get better at the game that will come with being part of the high performance program.
Be a real student of the game and of the sport. And if you have that passion to be the best that you can be, reach out to coaches, get involved with your coaches, and they'll definitely recommend you and push you to that elite level.
You really have to put in work on your own. In Australia, you'll have a lot of club practices. You'll have a lot of games, a lot of opportunities to refine your skills. Here, depending on where you're at, you may only have one practice a week, one game a week for 3 months a year. So it's on you to find the good workout programs, work on your skills on your own. If you have to go to a field by yourself, kick the ball, refine your skills that way.
Just keep working on yourself. Keep working on the things that are tough, things that you know you need to improve on, some of your weaknesses. You need to work hard on those and keep looking at the role models that will help you gain that path. The more you ask questions, the more you make footy a natural mindset where you can find yourself on the field, how to create certain reads, how to do certain kicks, how to make sure you're always in the right place. Those things come with time, but it also comes with asking the right questions and making sure you're always working on yourself. So every practice, every game, every time you have an off season and you know there's a few months ahead of you, still working on your game and working on footy and your footy knowledge.
Find your strength, be relentless, focus on that, and keep going. You will get noticed. You know, you might be sitting where I am and having a chance to play for Canada, or just leveling up and discovering even further the sport you love.
Comes from a premiership winning coach. He told me once, if you're going to be fast, be fast. It was a nod to understanding that to play to your strengths and play your game. Forget what other people are doing. Really be yourself and play to your advantage. Don't mind what others can do. Simply be the best that you can be. And the success will follow suit. I have to thank you, Coach Pally, for that. So I owe that to you.
In relationships, family, work, anything in your life that you want to succeed in, you got to push, commit, work hard. So for anybody wanting to play at the national level with their football, I would say just commit, spend as much time as you can, learn, develop, grow, watch footy, learn, be humble, take it on, back yourself, and most importantly, just enjoy your footy all the way through. If you do that, spend the time, put the effort in, then it's very achievable to get to the national level. And once you get there, 100%, it'll be worth the journey. So I encourage that for everybody.
Time for the halftime recap, brought to you by Tribal Sport, official apparel of the Canada Northwind. Visit their website at www.tribalsport.com.au.
And we are here on the campus of Humber College in the Greater Toronto area. Great game going on here between Team Canada's Northwind and Team USA's Revolution. Tied at 14. Both teams 2 goals, 2 behinds at the half. David, a great half of footy. Teams really having to work for every touch of the ball.
Oh, there's not a lot of spare space out there or easy possessions. And really, if you want to talk about the second quarter, it was pretty much what the first quarter was. Each team with a goal and a behind in each quarter. Lots of contested possession. It is a lot of great athletes with a lot of pressure. And really, this second half is really going to be about who can make the right decisions, execute their skills under that pressure. But, boy, great half of football for sure.
Yeah, great showcase for Australian football in this part of the world. And we've been kind of telling the stories throughout the day of the different athletic backgrounds. So many guys come from different places. We talk about basketball players, volleyball players, curlers, swimmers, and it's so great to see them channeling that into Australian football, making for a pretty high-end product today on display in Toronto.
As I said, tied at 14. Exact same scoreline, 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points for the USA Revolution. 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points for the Canada Northwind. That has been your halftime recap, brought to you by Tribal Sport, official apparel manufacturer for the Canada Northwind. You've been seeing their product out there on the field today. So visit their website at www.tribalsport.com.au.
One, two, go, boys!
And welcome back to the campus of Humber College in Toronto, Ontario. Parallel Cup, Team Canada, Team USA, all locked up, 14 at halftime. What a game thus far. Looking forward to the second half.
Oh, how can you not? A lot of contested possession, a lot of great athletes putting everything out there for these two teams. So we'll see what the second half has in store, because the first two quarters were pretty much a mirror of each other. 1 goal, 1 behind for both teams in both quarters to make it 2 goals, 2 behind, 14 points for both the USA Revolution and the Canada Northwind.
Yeah, but a good game. Fans here seem to be enjoying it. I believe I understood him correctly. I was chatting with Michael Leinen's uncle. He said he came up from Texas to watch his nephew play, and he's seeing him play in a good game here this afternoon in Toronto. First time the Parallel Cup has been contested since 2015. First time it's been in Canada since 2013. So Canada looking to undo the nasty history that they have in this event.
Yeah, he might be one of the few people that is not warm today. I mean, it's a beautiful day here, but maybe not Texas weather. But great day for football as we're about ready. The Canada Northwind coming on the field. The USA Revolution taking the field quite a bit earlier than the Northwind. They have the same score, though. As I say, 14-14. Not a lot of scoring in this game because there's just not a lot of room. So we'll see what we have in store for us as we approach the second half.
Yeah, it should be a good half of footy. As you can see, a big Jordan Harcombe is with the beautiful mane flowing there for Team Canada, wearing number 23 as a background playing basketball with Algonquin College. Certainly that is a very transferable skill to football, as we talked about earlier, as we get ready for the center clearance to start this second half of play. Again, we are all even at 14. 2 goals, 2 behinds for both sides. A run up on the center clearance. Americans will take possession off the ruck. Ball on the ground. We've seen a lot of it today, if we're being honest. Kick across left to right. Marked there by Team Canada, courtesy of Michael Burke of the Edmonton Wombats. Free kick for Burke. He'll kick it along the right side. And been tough for the teams to string together a sequence of marks due to the pressure. And now Team USA has the ball in pressure. Kick through the corridor. Ball will come into the American forward 50. Again, we're tied early in this second half. It is all even at 14 apiece, and that is very much indicative of the gameplay. It has been very even. Ball touching hands all over the place in the middle of the ground.
Lots of players around the ball here, just bouncing towards between hands. And a free kick given to the Revolution, so they'll get a kick towards their forward 50. And nice defensive mark there by Greg Bridges, I believe.
Yeah, nice hands there by Greg Bridges to the Ottawa Swans, who's a player coach, head coach. He's representing Canada at the International Cup. Kicks along the right side, handball by Team Canada, as we're in the early days here of this second half. Looks like we're going to get a boundary throw in here, David.
Far side of the field. It is a boundary throw in. Off hands. Say that a lot because it's just a lot of pressure. Hard to grab the ball and get possession because there's somebody right on you right away. Americans, little bit of space. Kick towards the forward 50. There's a handball defensively. Picked up by the Americans. A handball. Opportunity for the Revolution. Big bump. Americans get the ball. Kick it, goal. And it goes through. A nice snap there by C.J. Adams, and the Americans take the lead.
Yeah, the youngster C.J. Adams out of the Minnesota Freeze, a second-generation USAFL player. His dad, Chris, was a stalwart for the USAFL. He's actually, CJ is a product of the Washington Junior footy program, so he actually grew up with the game despite growing up in the United States, and he has a key contribution for the Americans to put them ahead. And also, I wanted to note to David, I think I saw Sam Gigliotti out there for Team USA. He was involved in that head-on-head collision earlier in the game, so nice to see him be able to shake that off and return to play. So again, a key goal for the Americans here to go up 20-14.
Absolutely nice to see him back, and Americans with certainly the play here in the first part of the third quarter, but as we know, things can change pretty quickly in this game. So Americans have the ball up in the middle. Ball bouncing. Americans, and that's disposed of incorrectly, and that'll be a free kick to Greg Bridges here on the wing. He kicks it down the wing, but really it's only the Americans kind of do their own spoil there, but they do get the ball. Kick on the wing towards the line. Kept alive only briefly as Greg Bridges pushes out the American player.
Yeah, great pressure by Greg Bridges all over the field, and that's going to lead to a boundary throw in there as the boundary throw in coming right in front of us. Ball thrown up. Tap won by Team Canada. Ball on the ground here. Now the Americans with it, as that's Michael Leinen taken down. The play's halted. Again, we're just getting going here in this third quarter. About 4 minutes played. Team USA leads at 20-14. It's actually going to be a free kick for Michael Leinen. Plays for the Austin Crows. Now kicking into the goal square, towards the goal square. Team USA trying to bring the pressure here.
A bunch of bodies there. Free kick picking out, and this is an American free kick. Certainly straight on here, so about 35 meters from goal, I estimate from here.
So Zach McKinney opened the scoring today, David.
We know he can kick the ball. Certainly be a big goal in the context of this game. It's away, looking like it's to the right, and it certainly is. So that'll be behind for the United States. But they go in the lead by 7 points, which is the biggest lead of this game so far.
Yeah, you said it. These behinds could end up being pretty important given how tight this contest has been thus far. Not a lot to choose from between the two sides. As I said, it's been a great game of footy. Canadians try to move it along the wing. Nice intercept mark there by Team USA, as we have seen not much in terms of domination from either club, as it's been a tightly contested game, both in terms of the play on the field and the scoreboard.
Free kick given here to Canada on that play. Kicked along the wing. And that's marked. So Canada finally getting some flow here. A few more marks here in the third quarter. Maybe a bit of fatigue settling in here and a bit more space. Tackled right away there. Handballed out, though. Bunch of American players around him. And that's a defensive intercept mark by Michael Leinen. Kicked. Bit wide. Bit of space here on the wing. Off the foot and over the line. That'll be a boundary throw in right at midfield. Right in front of our broadcast position. So it's U.S. opening up a 7-point lead. See if Canada. Lots of holding going on there, but both teams are doing it, so no free kick. And this will be a ball up right in front of us here at our broadcast position.
Yeah, almost challenging for the umpires there, David, with all the contests on the ground.
Absolutely. And that's a hold there by Canada, and a free kick will be given to the U.S. Long kick towards 50-meter line, but a defensive mark there by Canada. Steve Setka. He delivers the ball down the wing. On the ground, U.S. picks the ball up. Kick farther down the wing. Defensively broken up there by Canada. Handball down the line. Doesn't find the line, kept alive. And there's a tackle. And this is a free kick on holding the ball call to the Revolution.
Great work by Team USA, keeping the ball alive there. First Shotwell with the kick, and then Fouchant punching it in. Now kick to the goal square area, but an intercept mark for Team Canada. Big mark by Steve Walker of the Hamilton Wildcats, and that's a key moment in the game perhaps for Canada as they'll kick it back to the corridor. Ball going way up in the air. McKinney tries to bat it for Team USA. Ball will come back into the hands of Tim
Handball
Lundfeldt.
goes awry. Picked up by Canada. Handball. Here's Jeff Coventry. Goes further with the ball. Just keeps going forward with not much possession, but Canada gets the meterage, and there's a free kick given to the USA Revolution.
Team USA leads 3 goals, 3 behinds. Canada 2 goals, 2 behinds. We played 7:41 in the third quarter, so basically halfway through this third quarter. Team USA, the Revolution, kicking from the defensive half of the field as The Canadians with an opportunity, a boot through, and that is going to be a critical goal for Team Canada. I believe that was Michael Burke of the Edmonton Wildcats, or the Edmonton Wombats, pardon me, kicking that through. Critical score for Canada here, brings them within one.
Yeah, that's an important goal. It's hard to overstate how important that goal is, given how difficult it is to get scores in this game. And certainly the momentum was going in the Revolution's way. So let's see if this can be a bit of a change in momentum overall for Canada. 1 point lead for the USA Revolution here in the third quarter.
Michael Burke played in the Parallel Cup in 2015, and now he's got a nice memory to take away from the 2022 version. The United States initially wins the center clearance. Canada gets the ball, but goes right back into the hands of Sam Murphy of the LA Dragons. Ball comes back along the boundary. Goes way up in the air. Where's it going to land? It's going to land on the ground, where it's been a lot of today. A lot of pressure there as game being played on the deck, so to speak. Ball will come back towards the forward 50. Fouchant goes chasing after it. Team USA putting on the pressure. Americans leading by a single point. As I said, those behinds could prove to be crucial as Fouchant tries to handball it along. Team USA with the lead. They like the ball as well as a number of bodies from both teams battling for it. And play comes
free kick given to the USA there. That's number 6, C.J. Adams. Probably not sure if that was a high hit or a tackle from behind. So
C.J. Adams, just 20 years old, David, probably the youngest player in this game, and he already has a goal kicked thus far this afternoon.
Certainly you like when you have those young players in your program. That's kicked wide of the goal, and that will be over the line for a boundary throw in deep in the American forward pocket. And it looks like we could have another injured player there, Patrick.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's been friendly fire, and sometimes it's been the nature of the game. As we know, this is a full contact sport, and sometimes it's just running hard into your own teammate. And it looks like Steve Fouchant, he's not the player injured; he's the one signaling for help. Not sure the player that's down. And again, you don't want to see this for any of the teams. We had a collision in the first half. I believe it was Dan Livy and Sam Gigliotti, and I feel like we saw Sam Gigliotti out on the field, but I don't think we've seen Dan Livy since. And we'd like for everybody to get through this in one piece. Did you get a chance to see what happened there, David? Was that a collision? I'm not sure.
I didn't really see. I was focusing on the ball. But, with all this physical contact, certainly it's pretty easy for heads to knock or, almost could be. Looks like it's a leg issue.
It might be Nolan Cox, actually, that's down. I mentioned Nolan Cox plays for the Austin Crows. Brother of Mason Cox was best and fairest at the 2021 Nationals. And how's this for confusion? Mason Cox's two brothers, his brother Nolan plays in Austin, and his brother Austin plays in Seattle. So try to wrap your head around that one.
Mason has a big game in Australia, which would be early tomorrow morning our time against the Sydney Swans, both top 4 sides there in the AFL. I'm a Swans fan, so certainly not exactly wishing for the result that Mason Cox would, but big game there in Sydney, Australia in the AFL.
Well, if by chance Mason is watching this, we're hoping that your brother is going to be getting up okay here. As I said, you never want to see this. Now, the format for this game, and we see this a lot in international competition, is the 17.5-minute quarters. But, David, you were saying earlier, a timekeeper's discretion for a lengthy stoppage. They could add time, almost soccer style almost.
Absolutely. Injury time, as it were. Looks like he's just going to get out of the field to play here. So this will be a boundary throw in the forward pocket for the Revolution. They lead by 1 here in the third quarter. There it goes. Offhands towards the boundary again. And that tackle, and it goes over. It'll be another boundary throw in.
Yeah, good pressure there on the tackle by Sam Murphy of the LA Dragons. Called his name a few times today. Boundary throw in here. You can see Cox is still struggling there. Hopefully he'll be okay, but the play continues on. Boundary throw in as the Americans trying to generate some offense in their forward 50. It's going to be kicked out of trouble there by Greg Bridges. Is that a good game for Team Canada? No surprise there, an IC player, as the ball bounces out of the U.S. forward 50. Americans trying to bring it back in. As nice handball there. Good movement by hands for Team USA. Ball bouncing everywhere. Number 12 battle there. And Canada's going to win the ball to move it out. As Coventry tries to punch that forward. I mentioned his wide receiving background with the Montreal Alouettes. As the ball will be moved along the right side. He was probably pretty happy with their win over Winnipeg on Thursday night. Ball kicked towards the forward 50 of Canada, but a nice intercept mark for Team USA.
Yeah, not a lot of players in the Canadian forward 50, not a lot of targets for him. And there's a mark in midfield for the U.S. See if they can get some flow going through the corridor. Handball, kick towards their forward 50. There's a contest, off hands, picked up by Bridges for Canada. That bounces, and a tackle. Nice tackle there by Canada on the U.S. player.
Yeah, that was Steve Setka, David, who was playing in the development game earlier, and he's made a bit of an impact in the main game too. I guess we can say
our former teammate in the 2018 Canada Nationals. So that goes out of bounds, and that'll be another boundary throw in. A scrambly play here in the third quarter. Not sure who that really helps at this point. It's a close score. The arm wrestle has continued here in the second half. Long kick down the line. Stays in bounds. Only briefly as it goes over the line, and this will be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, that was Saleh Tajibi, the captain of Team USA, tapping it out. We get a boundary throw-in. Tajibi plays for the Seattle Grizzlies. Played at IC in both 2014 and 2017. As the boundary throw-in tapped forward by Team Canada. Ball pretty much at midfield. Again, it's a one-point game. Team USA ahead by behind, and every score is critical at this point of the game. Ball worked along the right boundary. It's tough for either team to really get a sequence of successive marks here due to the contested pressure, but that's a nice mark there by Ryan McGettigan of the Philadelphia Hawks. As the ball will be moved forward, another nice mark there. Mark McClure, he's just a giant out there, David.
Yeah, my 5'8" frame is nothing like his for sure. Would think this would be out of his range, particularly with how this angle is for him, but we'll see what he does with this kick. His run up. Lee passer towards goal, but I don't know if we'll make it off hands. And Americans have it. And there's a free kick given to the Revolution. So this is not far from goal. You would think this is going to be a pretty good opportunity to score a goal here for, looks like the free kick is to Michael Leinen. Sharky is his nickname. We'll see if he can be a Shark kicking towards goal here. Plays for the Austin Crows. And that's straight through. So that's a goal for the Revolution. They go out to a 7-point lead. Pretty important goal in the context of this game, Patrick.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jordan Harcombe, the big Canadian defender, did all he could. And speaking of defending, actually, you note the background of Michael Leinen. He actually was defensive back for St. Michael's Crusaders high school football team in Texas, but playing an offensive role in this contest. And as you said, that is a critical goal for Team USA. That's 4 goals, 3 behinds for the Americans, 3 goals, 2 behinds for Canada. It's 27-20, and the Americans kind of continuously coming back to that 7-point lead.
Yeah, so, ties for the biggest lead in this game, and I believe the second time that's been their lead.
Yeah. Lucky sevens, perhaps, if you're a Revolutions fan. Ruck won by Team USA. Ball will go to ground as Jason Nystein of Canada will move it forward. Big boot into the forward 54 Canada. Falcione, who had a goal earlier in the game, he's hungry for the ball. It'll come back out as that was Coventry that was after it for the Canadians, or pardon me, that was Eric Klein that was after the ball. As again, we're seeing a lot of the game played on the ground. It comes out towards the midfield. As again, good pressure, making it difficult to get any sort of kicking consistency going here. And a big defensive mark there for Team USA.
Yeah, Canada be disappointed with that for sure. Americans kick it to the line.
As the U.S. keeps possession. That is Brian Powers of the D.C. Eagles, who's had a good game. I mentioned he was a late add-on to this U.S. team, but he does not look out of place at all. Canada gets possession, though, and a free kick. A couple of intercept marks there right in a row. No one able to string together any sort of offense here as the Americans get the ball back. Kendall Hutchings runs along the right line. Kendall Hutchins wanted me to mention his 4 kids. I'm sure they're watching and cheering Dad on at home, and I believe Kendall's birthday is tomorrow, so happy early birthday to him. Ball comes back in it to the American forward 50. Ball dribbling along as it'll come to Canadian hands ever so briefly. Handball across. Again, Team USA ahead by 7 points here. Ball bouncing along the right boundary. Is that going to stay in? It's a bit far for us, as it's the opposite side of the broadcast location here. And good pressure for the Americans that ends up leading to a break in the action.
I believe it's a holding. No, it's holding the ball call and a 25-meter penalty, I believe, here for the Revolution. So, given the context of the game, you don't want to be giving 25-meter penalties away because it's meterage is hard to come by. So, we'll see what the U.S. Revolution can do here.
And again, if you're an AFL fan, that's the adaptation. It's a 50-meter penalty in the AFL, but 25 in international play.
Kick towards goal.
It was
blocked from going over, but there's a snap, and that's through again. Another goal for the Revolution as they go out to the biggest lead of this game so far. Believe it was number 7, Keith Phillips, with the snap and the goal. Keith from the North Carolina Tigers. Played as a long snapper in football for the Hampton-Sydney University in Virginia. He also works from the minor pro baseball team, the Savannah Bananas. One of the best names in pro sports.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is the lone representative of North Carolina on this team, making an impact for Team USA. And that is going to do it. Of course, we were watching the scoreboard. Remember, we had that injury earlier in the quarter to Nolan Cox. That's why the play went longer than 17 and a half minutes. And again, evenly played game, but the Americans pulling out front here towards the end of the third quarter.
Certainly a good quarter for the USA Revolution. Considering how tight this game was, this lead almost seems massive compared to what it's been. So they lead 33-20 on 4 goals, 3 behinds, 33 to Canada's 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here to Humber College at the 49th Parallel Cup between the USA Revolution and the Canada Northwind.
The best advice I can give to somebody who wants to play footy and represent their country at the highest level is really just to go for it and to get involved.
Get involved.
Find your local club, get down, try out the game, learn the skills. Just give a big effort, get around everybody. Like, you never know. You could have the opportunity that all of us have at any time.
To reach out to some of the people involved in the program, to reach out to the coaches, put your name forward. And regardless of what happens after that, you will absolutely benefit from the development opportunities that are there and from the opportunities to learn and to get better at the game that will come with being part of the high performance program.
Be a real student of the game and of the sport. And if you have that passion to be the best that you can be, reach out to coaches, get involved with your coaches, and they'll definitely recommend you and push you to that elite level.
You really have to put in work on your own. In Australia, you'll have a lot of club practices. You'll have a lot of games, a lot of opportunities to refine your skills. Here, depending on where you're at, you may only have 1 practice a week, 1 game a week for 3 months a year. So it's on you to find the good workout programs, work on your skills on your own. If you have to go to a field by yourself, kick the ball, refine your skills that way.
Just keep working on yourself. Keep working on the things that are tough, things that you know you need to improve on, some of your weaknesses. You need to work hard on those and keep looking at the role models that will help you gain that path. The more you ask questions, the more you make footy a natural mindset and where you can find yourself on the field, how to create certain needs, how to do certain kicks, how to make sure you're always in the right place. Those things come with time, but it also comes with asking the right questions and making sure you're always working on yourself. So every practice, every game, every time you have an off season and there's a few months ahead of you, still working on your game and working on footy and your footy knowledge.
Find your strength, be relentless, focus on that, and keep going. You will get noticed. You know, you might be sitting where I am and having a chance to play for Canada, or just leveling up and discovering even further the sport you love.
Comes from a premiership winning coach. He told me once, if you're going to be fast, be fast. It was a nod to understanding that to play to your strengths and play your game. Forget what other people are doing. Really be yourself and play to your advantage. Don't mind what others can do, simply be the best that you can be. And the success will follow suit. I have to thank you, Coach Pally, for that. So I owe that to you.
In relationships, family, work, anything in your life that you want to succeed in, you got to push, commit, work hard. So for anybody wanting to play at the national level with their football, I would say just commit, spend as much time as you can, learn, develop, grow, watch footy, learn, be humble, take it on, back yourself, and most importantly, just enjoy your footy all the way through. If you do that, spend the time, put the effort in, then it's very achievable to get to the national level. And once you get there, 100%, it'll be worth the journey. So I encourage that for everybody.
Time now for the Tribal Sport third quarter recap. Tribal Sport, official apparel company of AFL Canada. Visit their website at www.tribalsport.com.au.
And we're back here on the campus of Humber College in the Greater Toronto area. The USA Revolution leading this game 33-20, 5 goals, 3 behinds for the USA, 3 goals, 2 behinds for Team Canada. Certainly the story of the game. They call it the Premiership quarter. USA pulls ahead in the third.
Certainly this is the first quarter where you really could see anything between the teams. Lots of time left. There's a whole quarter to play, but certainly that was a quarter that the USA Revolution that would be pretty happy with 3 goals and 1 behind, just the 1 behind for the Canadians. So after 2 quarters that really were, mirrors of each other and totally even, certainly the Revolution would be happy to have a quarter where they were certainly on top of the Canadians.
Yeah, now we talked about how even the first 2 quarters were 13 points, anything could happen. There's still lots of time left, but yet tough margin to make up in a game where there's been so little space.
Absolutely, though, fatigue will come into play, so there may be a little more space here in the fourth quarter with fatigue. It's a pretty warm day here in Toronto, so we'll see if that's a factor or not. But certainly the Revolution are happier with their situation than the Northwind are. So that's the third quarter recap brought to you by Tribal Sport. Again, the official apparel company of AFL Canada. They can apparel your company, your team in Australian rules football. Their website at www.tribalsport.com.au. Back at Humber College here, but ready for the fourth quarter. Ball about to be up here to start play.
Yeah, if you're the Canadians are looking for an early score here, it's 33-20 in favor of Team USA. And good news to report, both Sam Gigliotti and Dan Livy, who were in that head-on-head collision, they're both returning to action. You can see them easily by the headbands they're wearing to cover up their earlier wounds. As the center bounce, will
free kick to Canada here.
Canadians with possession coming off the bounce. And as I said earlier, Canada will look to get a quick score, trailing here by 13 points. Kick towards the forward 50 by the Canadians. Ball will come back to Team USA's Timmy Lindfeld, as ball will end up squirming out on the boundary. Again, it is a 33-20 Team USA lead as we're going to get a boundary throw in here in the pocket.
Yeah, won't mind that. They can get set up. Certainly, they like to be in this end of the field more so than the others, so they need to have a good start here, I think, in the fourth quarter. There's a kick off hands. Canada picks it up, though. Gets rid of it. Here's a kick for goal, and it's through. A quick goal for Canada here in this fourth quarter. A dream start as they narrow the lead of the Revolution.
Yeah, no doubt a huge goal here for Team Canada. That will cut the lead rather, to 7 points. And we said they wanted to convert early, and they have done that. It is the captain of Team Canada, Jim Ortel of the Burnaby Eagles, another one of these guys who started playing football at a young age with the Delta Junior Footy Club in Vancouver. He's also played for the Carrera Saints in the Gold Coast, played at the IC-17, and his experience comes in handy as he kicks a key goal for Team Canada. Center bounce, or center throw-up, I should say, taken by Team USA. Again, now a 7-point game following the Ortel kick, as the Americans bring it forward. Nice kick across there by Ryan McGettigan of the Philadelphia Hawks. Free kick out in the goal square there for Team USA's Rob Munn.
As he gets the mark, Rob Munn, a former Olympic rower. So certainly a bit of a change in codes there. So see if this is in his range or he'll try to pass it. Lead ignored. He kicks it towards goal. High kick. That looks right down the middle. And that's a big response by the Revolution. A goal to reinstate their lead.
Yeah, we talked all about how tough it was and how much pressure there was, and yet both teams able to strike here within the first 2 minutes. And I feel like you were hearing Rob Munn being called every name under the sun. I might have heard a go back to rowing comment from one of the Canadians. Of course, the banter, a big part of Australian football, but they were unable to distract Rob Munn as he was able to kick a key goal for Team USA.
That'll be a 13-point lead for the Revolution. Is that a lucky lead for the Revolution or unlucky for the Northwind? We'll see how this goes.
Ball up at the center circle. Now, despite the fact that Canada allowing that goal, perhaps a more wide open pace could favor the team that needs points as they trail by 13. There's a kick there by Gigliotti. Again, he's wearing the headband as they had a head-on-head collision earlier in the game, and that was McGettigan kicking it out of bounds for Team USA. As Team USA reinstating, as David said, that 13 margin lead. Score is 39-26 as we're in the early stages of this fourth quarter.
Boundary throw in the American forward pocket. Bounce just before the line. It's off hands. Americans try to pick it up, but actually goes in the hands of Canada. Lots of players around the ball. Kick to the side. No mark there. Ball bouncing on, kick towards the boundary, and that'll be over. And another boundary throw in the USA's end of the field.
Yeah, boundary throw in an advantageous position for Team USA. We'll see what they can do as big Mark McClure tries to get his hands on it. Gets it over to Clyde Simpson of the Columbus Cats. Ball goes to the other side of the field as Michael Linen of the Austin Crows sends a big boot way up into the air. And I believe that it's going to be a behind. Not sure if they put a point on the scoreboard, but Team USA in the lead here in the early going of this fourth quarter is
conferring what is the call here, and
do you think
it is a behind.
Do you think he was signaling for a video goal review like in the AFL, do you?
Not quite at that level here, international footy, but the Americans give away the ball.
And they have put up the behind on the scoreboard, worth noting there.
Americans now with the ball just outside their forward 50, and that's over the line for another boundary throw-in. Games have not a lot of flow right now. Probably Canada with a handball. That kick smothered. Kick by the Americans towards goal. Just wide and another behind for the USA.
Yeah, Team USA starting to get a carry of the play here, and if you're Canada, that is not what you want to see as we're coming up about 5 minutes played here in this fourth quarter. Canada now finds themselves down by 15, but a bit more of an offensive pace here, so perhaps the Canadians can use that to their advantage as a battle along the ground here. I believe that's Clyde Simpson of the Columbus Cats. He's seen his fair share of touches of the ball today, and a good contest along the ground here.
This will be a ball up. Canada trying to get some flow here. Game's kind of been ground to a halt a little bit. And free kick given to Canada. Kick down the wing. That won't be marked. Picked up by the U.S. Long handball to Del Campo. Kick long and a defensive mark.
Yeah, Gabe at Martin Del Campo unable to kick that to mark. Canada takes possession in the defensive side of the field. I believe that's Greg Bridges going after it there. He'll kick it along the left boundary. Canada trying to work their way up the wing and then back to the corridor, but instead it'll be the Americans taking possession. Derek Shotwell out of the Cincinnati Dockers. Nice clean kick to mark. Shotwell actually joined the Columbus team for U.S. Regionals. Also did some cross-country running back in the day. Free kick here for Team USA, and I believe that's Mark McClure with the boot. David, I'm not sure from this side.
You would think this would be within his range. I would say 30 meters from goal. Important kick. In the context of this game. There's the kick. And that looks to be right. And it is, and only a behind to the U.S. But certainly they continue to have the ball in Canada's hands. Out of their defensive 50. Off hands. And the mark for Canada. Long kick down the line. Pack of players. Not easy to get possession. There's a handball that goes over the line, and this will be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, 7-10 gone here in this fourth quarter. Team USA ahead by a margin of 42-26. The Canadians want to get the next goal. There's no doubt about that. Ball up by the boundary. Canadians take possession. Kick towards the forward 50. And Falcione was trying to get his hands on it. And he was campaigning for a free kick. Not sure if he won that debate. I think he has. Falcione had a kick in the first quarter for goal for Canada. He'll kick it deeper into the goal square. No ability to mark there as Daniel Garcia had it briefly for the Americans. The ball's going to be kicked out of play.
Got boot the ball, and this should be a boundary throw in the Canadian forward pocket. So we'll see if they can set up a play and get a shot at goal and cut this USA Revolution lead. Been a bit of scrambly fourth quarter, really. Maybe some fatigue setting in for these players. Warm day here in Toronto. That handball doesn't go anywhere. There's a tackle back to Canada. Bunch of players just bouncing between players right now. A lot of players around the ball. Handball. Nice pickup. Kick towards the goal square. Doesn't make it. No mark. Kick it, goal. And that's a behind for Canada.
Yeah, Michael Burke doing a good job of picking that ball up out of traffic. We saw him kick a goal earlier. Unfortunately for him, he was only able to get a behind in this case. As Team Canada trying to close the gap here on the scoreboard.
Oh, sorry. That may have been out on the full.
Yeah, that is correct. That you can detract the score for Canada there as it remains 42-26. So Michael Burke, as I said, good job at winning the ball, but wasn't able to convert, and the Americans will kick it out of their goal square.
It has been ruled a behind, so the flag has been waved.
We were right the first time, David. We shouldn't have been questioning ourselves.
They should question us. We know what we're talking about here. There's a nice mark on the wing for the Americans. Number 1, Sam Gigilati. Kicks towards the middle. There's a mark by Rob Munn. The handball. Americans going forward. A bit of space here. Haven't seen a lot of that. Number 4 Steve Fashant. He holds the ball up, and it's a free kick, and I believe a 25-meter penalty for high contact. So Fashant's going to have a pretty good shot at goal here. Would say about 30 meters with not really that great an angle.
Fashant plays for the Minnesota Freeze. He's had a pretty good game today. He's going to kick this up. Is that kick on line? Looks like it was going through for behind.
Started right, turned a little, but not enough, and that's a behind. So another behind for the U.S. We'll see if Canada can make them pay for their inaccuracy. That's offhand. Towards the boundary line. And looks like it's the boundary throw-in. There it goes. Canada with the ball. Long kick. Nice play there by the American. And that's a mark to Dan Levy. There's a kick. And that's a mark
by Mark McClure. And as I said earlier, nice to see Livy back in the game after he suffered that hand injury earlier. And obviously it wasn't severe, as you can see the headband. And then Mark McClure was the marker. He's a 35-year-old. As I said, he's had some bad luck with injuries, but he is very much a presence in this game today. Certainly tough to contend against a player of that height as he kicks from just outside the forward 50, it looks like. Strong boot, and that is going to go right through the middle.
He likes it. He likes it a lot, and that extends the Americans' lead. Boy, that's a big boot and a big goal, and certainly the lead is looking a little bit harder to come back from for Canada Northwind, as certainly the second half has been really great for the Americans, not so much for the Canada Northwind.
Yeah, Canada now finds themselves down 48-27, 7 goals, 7 behinds for Team USA, and 4 goals, 3 behinds for Canada as the ball comes back to center. 12-14 has been played in this fourth quarter. Off the ruck at center, the Americans will take possession. Ball bouncing around on the ground as it's going to be pushed out there by the Canadians as Ode Capella had it temporarily in the play blown down. So seeing guys go to ground a bit, as we talked about this being a physical game, Capella will kick it in towards the forward 50, and that ball is going to be marked there by Jeff Coventry.
Coventry has a pretty big boot on him, so I would think this just outside the forward 50. So we'll see if he goes for goal or looks for somebody to pass to. Here it goes. Low kick and off hands, and that will be over the line and a boundary throw-in. So it did not go through. It's on the other side of the behind post. So this will be a boundary throw-in, which would suit the Canadians in the pocket. There's a whistle and a free kick given to the Revolution.
I think it was Kendall Hutchings there that got his hands up. That ended up being a key play. It was a boundary throw-in, but if the U.S. Gets a free kick here, then obviously that's the desired outcome for them, but it is going to be another boundary throw-in.
Another boundary throw-in, sorry. Picked up. Americans on them quickly. Lots of players around the ball. Americans clear from the... It's no mark, but back in. Off hands. Kick by Coventry, and that's a goal for Canada. That's what they needed.
Yeah, and a great job there by Jeff Coventry just getting into the American space. There was no room for USA to distribute the ball. Coventry's been a factor. We talk about his universal sports skills, and that is a big, big goal for Canada. You can see the Canadian players racing, trying to get this game back underway here.
Yeah, we're 14 minutes, more than 14 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter, so time is not on the Northwind side, but certainly they needed that goal to have any sort of chance of getting back and getting in this game. So there's been a whistle blown.
And again, just a correction on the score bug there. Canada has scored, so it is 48-33, but not a lot of time left in this contest.
14 and a half minutes into this fourth quarter. 15-point lead for the Revolution. Canada with the free kick. This is Jim Ortel, legend of Canada footy. Long kick. Can't mark. Canada picks up the ball. There's a snap towards goal. It bounces and it rolls through for a goal. What a goal there for the Northwind.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was Ortel or Michael Burke, but a big goal, and the Americans were trying to send pressure there and not able. I think it was Kendall Hutchins was trying to get his hand on it, but he wasn't able to do so. And don't adjust your sets there. Canada with another goal, and there's still time left here. That's going to make it 48-39. So now a 2-score game with the U.S. with the 11-point lead as we played at 15-38 in this fourth quarter.
They need a quick goal here, but Canada gains possession. Can't take the mark. Just outside the forward 50. Handball. Kicked is smothered. U.S. relieves the pressure. Maybe only momentarily. It's going to come back. There's a mark. Hand on that. That won't be marked because of the touch. Canada picks up the ball. Can they get another quick goal here? And that is a free kick for Canada and a 25-meter penalty. So they're going to have a definite shot at goal here.
Huge moment in the game. I believe that's Riley Turpin.
Looking good off the boot. Doesn't quite make it. Ball bounces to the pocket. There's a tackle. And that's holding the ball call. And Canada will get a free kick from the pocket. This is number 16, Robin Trzinski. He's from the Toronto Rebels. It's a really important kick. We're approaching those 17 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. There's a delay. Not sure what's going on here. Is there an injury out there?
Yeah, there could be. Now, we had mentioned earlier the potential of added time, and obviously a more important priority is making sure that there's nobody hurt.
Yeah, in the pocket there.
It's Gabe Martin Del Campo who was hurt. Very interesting man, Martin Del Campo. Actually has his own IMDb page because he's a film producer. Also plays rugby with the Rock Rugby Club, and he's a fitness coach. And unfortunately, he's not at the level of fitness he would like at the moment. Hopefully, he'll be okay. But big free kick coming up here for Canada.
It's a kick. That's to the right. And that's also the siren. So the USA Revolution claim their 10th 49th Parallel Cup in this fantastic game of football. But they will come on the better side of the score here at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario, the 2022 49th Parallel Cup.
Yeah, it goes the way of Team USA here by a final score of, I believe that would have gone through for a behind. I'm not sure.
I believe it was a behind there, but certainly that's not going to be enough for the Canada Northwind. So what a fantastic game of football, though, by both teams. A lot of great athletes who put it all on the line here at Humber College. So congratulations to both teams for a fantastic game of Australian rules football. But it is the USA Revolution that's going to hoist the cup again. Teams shaking hands, congratulating. It really should be both teams congratulated for a fantastic game of football.
Yeah, outstanding play on both sides. Really, the third quarter ends up being the difference for Team USA. 49-39, the final. 7 goals, 7 behinds for the Americans. 6 goals, 3 behinds for Team Canada.
Not coming back. Okay. USA Revolution here in the 49th Parallel Cup. See the USA Revolution celebrating their win here at Humber College. 2022 49th Parallel Cup.
You can hear the victory song there for Team USA. A hard-earned victory in the Parallel Cup returns from a 7-year absence. 5 years since the teams played an international competition. And unfortunately for the Canadians, a familiar refrain with Team USA picking up a 10-point victory, but not hanging their heads based on a great game of football that we saw played today.
Well, there's not much to choose, particularly in the first half between those two teams. But that third quarter, again, was the difference, which kind of reminds one of their game at the International Cup 17, where really a dominant third quarter was with the difference between the Revolution defeating the Northwind. So they say they call that third quarter the premiership quarter, and it really held true here again today.
Yeah, you're right. Groundhog Day, I guess you can say, because it was tied at halftime here. The U.S. establishing a healthy lead by the standards of this game. Of course, no real massive lead. I don't think the U.S. ever led by anything more than 13 points, and if it wasn't by much more than that. As you said, David, in the game in Australia, the IC-17, Canada was leading at the half, and Team USA pulls ahead in that third quarter, and they were able to kind of sit on that lead. So Canada just maybe not able to string together the full four, but, a lot of great performances on the field today on both sides.
Absolutely. Great athletes. A lot of different backgrounds when you see of Olympic rowers, basketball players, hockey players, former CFL player in there. So all that have come to love Australian rules football. And certainly every player that I saw out there put everything into this game. So big props to both teams. But the hardware is going to be on the American side again. 10th time out of 11 times the Americans win this trophy, but geez, the Canadians will certainly feel that they are fully in this game, and you have to think that jinx, as it were, will be broken at some point for this championship game.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and it's just great to see international competition continue. We've seen pretty much every sport be affected by COVID-19, and Australian football no exception to that. And in some respects, the game coming out of the pandemic may be even stronger than it was before. And I know we're speaking of our little club in Sydney, Nova Scotia, but we had growth this year, and you're seeing that around the country. And you look at these two teams, a lot of different regions in Canada represented, so many different club teams in the U.S. represented. So it's nice to see. And I know all the players who play with the various clubs are out there watching their teammates. Hello to each and every one of you. Thanks for you tuning in. And of course, we're going to have a trophy presentation coming up, but just great to see a high level of play on display.
Absolutely. Shout out to our teammates in the Sydney Giants on Cape Breton Island here online, but it is the Revolution with the hardware, and congratulations to them. So we'll be waiting the trophy presentation.
We should also get the announcement of who best on ground it was as well, I believe, David. I'm not sure when that'll be handed out, but a lot of players to pick from today. There was a lot of good performances on display.
Well, absolutely, and it's such contested ball that really it's tough to choose between the 40-plus players that would have been involved in this game. But certainly will be chosen before we leave here at Humber College in Toronto. 10th time the Americans have been able to come away with the trophy. But as we said, both teams can be very proud of their efforts here today.
Yeah, and you can see the cup there as well. There's also medals, and very reminiscent to how it is done in Australia. We're used to the different sports in North America. Now, we always hear about the Stanley Cup and the prestige of getting your name on the Stanley Cup. And, the interesting thing about that is if you're a big part of your team and, you win the Conn Smythe Trophy, but you miss Game 7 due to injury, your name gets on the cup. But in Australia, you've got to be in that game. Now, obviously, this is a one-game event, but if you're not in that championship game, you don't get a medal. So the players who are in the Parallel Cup today, the ones on the Team USA, will get the medal. Nice-looking medals. We saw them earlier, and they're going to be around the necks at the USA Revolution very soon after this ceremony is complete.
High-level footy here. A beautiful day at Humber College. What a experience to see high-level athletes play this great game, and it's been a pleasure to be here to see them play. So, bit of a delay here before we actually have the trophy presentation.
Yeah, I understand. I think they're wanting to get everything in order for this presentation. Also, wanting to tabulate the votes here to award the best on ground. A very important part of the proceedings for sure. Get in the votes from all the media in attendance.
Longtime AFL Canada President Lachlan Griffiths will be presenting the trophy. Certainly not to the team he would have preferred, but certainly I'm sure proud of the players that wore the maple leaf, as it were, here today. So Americans coming out to the field.
Yeah, Lachlan's a pro. He's going to keep it neutral, I think, in this trophy presentation. He did a great job in the pregame as well. Also, thanks to everybody at CBC for streaming this event. It's really great exposure for the game. And, if you're watching this and you want to give it a try, even if, obviously pretty tough to make it to the international level as these guys are at. But if you want to give the game a shot, come out, have some kicks and have some fun. Absolutely look into contacting your local club. See what's in your area. I would love to see more players involved in the sport. If a community like Sydney, Nova Scotia, where David and I are based, that can put in a team, I think they could be in all kinds of places around Canada. And that goes to everybody watching in the United States as well. I know all the players had their friends and family, all the teams had their viewing parties. I was seeing it on Instagram, and that's great to see. So hello to everybody that was watching, and congratulations to those American supporters on your team's victory today. We talked a lot about the progression and the high-end play of Canada, but certainly full marks to Team USA for both the win by the Revolution as well as the USA Development Squad. A great day of footy all around for sure.
Absolutely. If you're an athlete watching this game, you didn't know much about the game beforehand, highly recommend you give it a try. The community is something to behold, and it's certainly a great sport, and we certainly were provided a great display of athletic abilities here today. Tight contest that certainly went the USA Revolution's way. So ready for the trophy presentation here. It'll be Lachlan Griffiths presenting the trophy to the Revolution. It's gathered just in front of us here. On the field. Great thanks to Nathan at There Live for the production here today. I know there was a few technical difficulties, but certainly appreciate their efforts in producing this game and showing how great this game is. That was one of the things we wanted to show. Is certainly it's a great game to play as well as to watch. So thanks to them for their efforts today to get this to you here at the 2022 49th Parallel Cup.
Yeah, also, just wanted to thank everybody that helped with the broadcast. Big thanks again to the people at CBC for allowing us to have this platform. Thanks to all the individual teams. And apologies to the fans of the favorite players that I didn't get to mention. It's a quick game. It's tough to get everybody in. But thanks to everybody that helped contribute their facts and try to make it as good a broadcast. And, of course, the teams deliver with a great game as well.
Special thanks to Jacob Hausler for certainly being Mr. Everything in terms of getting this broadcast on the air and getting us information, and certainly big thanks for him. So ready to go here. Both teams lining up. Great show of respect as we're going to have the trophy presentation. 2022 49th Parallel Cup. Humber College.
Thanks everybody for coming down today. We're going to get started with the presentations here. Before we get started though, I do want to obviously thank USAFL and the Revolution for making the trip north of the border. It's great to have international footy back again, so thank you. I also want to thank AFL Canada and especially Jacob for putting on the day. Great work, Jacob. Over in the commentary booth, Patrick and David did a sensational job all day, so thanks to you guys. And also the umpires, Richard and Derek, for umpiring. Thanks, boys. I'll now invite Sean up to say a few words.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, just to repeat those sentiments, Jacob, the board, incredible job, the event you put on, the commentators, Richard and Derek, the umpires, thank you. Firstly, to the US, incredible contest, really, put on a good show for the crowd, and just glad to have everyone back here, international footy in Canada, and our turn in a couple of years down there with you guys. So congrats to Tom and the boys. To our fellas, just as I've mentioned already, incredibly proud of you guys to have, 8 or 9 new players, first time playing for the country. Really held up well, made yourselves and your families and friends proud. So super proud regardless of the result. Just happy to have the honor to coach you guys. So well done. Okay, thanks everyone.
We'll get Tom up to say a few words.
Yeah, I just want to thank Canada again for hosting and having it out here again. The 3 coaches for our team played here in 2000 for the very first time we ever did this thing. And now we're here coaching it. That's on you next. You guys have to keep following this up and keep this thing growing, because that's how this game is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I just want to thank these guys for coming. It was tough. I mean, it's like we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff to make sure that we can get across the border to get here. The flights got crazy, and they did it because we love the game. Everybody loves this game, and that's what it's about. Win or lose today, the winner is football. We're playing again. Congratulations.
Okay, we'll present the MVP for the game. We had 5 different sets of cards, and after 4 cards, it was a 3-way tie. So the 5th card was the decider. Congratulations, Austin Crows, Michael Linhan, MVP.
Unexpected, so this is great. Just want to thank Canada. Great contest. We don't always get the privilege to play such a hard contest against good footy players. So like Tom said, the winner today is the sport of footy. So thanks to everyone. Thanks for the teammates over here, all my boys. And my Austin Crows boys coming too. We got Coxie and Sammy. Sammy I grew up with, so it's great to play for the USA with you.
Tom will get you back up here and you can hand out the medals for your team.
Yep, around the That's it, boys. Come on up and grab them.
Yes. And finally, one more presentation, the cup. Congratulations, Tom and Revolution. Your cup. How about it?
Right back at it.
There you go, man. All right.
John Ellis with the cup. 10th time. USA
Congrats, man.
Revolution's name's going to be on that cup.
The cup in familiar hands of Team USA.
Thanks again, everyone, and that brings a conclusion to the 49th Parallel Cup.
I think I speak for everyone, David. Hopefully we don't have to wait another 7 years.
Absolutely. Just a absolute great afternoon of football. And when you think Canada really brought the contest, and certainly nothing to hide their head about for sure. Just as was said, the biggest winner today is Australian rules football in North America, because this was a great display of it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, of course, the links to these two games will stay live on YouTube. If you're just joining us late for whatever reason you want to come back, I don't think you'll be disappointed with the caliber of play you've seen. And, you know, as you said, a great game. And both teams really elevating their performances and both putting their best foot forward for better results in international competition to come and improving the game domestically as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you look at this is not just a sport in one or two places. There's 27 different clubs represented in this game, 15 of them in the U.S. and 12 in Canada. So, you know, spread all around, and all these players have come to Toronto to play in this game. Just a fantastic afternoon of football.
Yeah, can't really say much more than that. Great to see so much variety in terms of the clubs that were represented. Everybody showing well today, and what was an excellent pair of games. Actually, we started with the development game, a good skill on display, and again in this Northwind Revolution game as well.
Big thanks to our sponsors, True Blue Swim School, Tribal Sport, EMM Consulting, and Great Aussie Food, and as well, big thanks to eThere Live for the production of this fantastic game here at Humber College. But that's it from us. It's over. What a pleasure, though, to have been here to see these great athletes play. And it's time to go have some fun, I think, tonight.
Yeah, for sure. That's David Smith. I'm Patrick Beneal. A great day of Australian football as we sign off from the campus of Humber College here in Toronto, Ontario. Congratulations to the United States on winning the 49th Parallel Cup. Good afternoon from Colonel Samuel Smith Park.